Do you feel emotionally connected to your plants? As if in the process of caring for them, they as well are caring for you? What about Planty DIYs and thrifting for plant items? If I have your attention, then the Plants by Wade Lee podcast is for you. Join me, plant friends, as we dig deep and experience the magic of plants. Hey everyone, welcome to the second episode of the Plants by Wade Lee podcast. I'm Wade Lee. I am so excited to bring on my first co-host. We had been talking for a long time on Planty social media. She is home and garden content creator. Joy Blooms at Home. Welcome, Emily.
Hi, Wade. How are you?
Good, my love. How you doing?
I'm so excited to be here. I'm like feeling so special that I'm the first co-host.
Thanks. I wouldn't have anybody else. Emily, I'm so glad that you are joining us from New York City. You
Yeah.
have the beautiful skyline behind you. Tell us a little bit about how you got into plants. You know, where that passion came from. Were you interested in plants as a kid, or is this something new that has transpired?
Yeah, I was not interested in plants at all when I was a kid. I remember like growing up and seeing that like English ivy in people's houses and I still don't like that plant to this day. Do you like that one? I don't know.
I think I like it for 5 minutes. I had one up and it just dried out and died within like a
Yeah.
couple weeks.
And the
So
audacity for it to not even be that cute and to like be hard to maintain.
yeah, exactly.
So I always killed plants. I liked them like growing like when I got older. I've always been into like designing spaces or just making my home like feel special and like a safe space for me. And so with that came plants, and I'd always end up killing them. Up until the pandemic, I killed every single plant, even a bamboo I had in water. Like I don't know how you do that.
That's
I had
hilarious.
very little sun in that apartment now that I'm thinking back. But during the pandemic, we also call it the plant-demic, people call it, right? I got into
Yeah,
plants. I met a mom friend in the neighborhood on a Facebook group. You know, I love my Facebook groups.
yeah.
And she started gifting me plants because she's really into plants. I think I still have one from her that I have kept alive since the
That's a
pandemic.
special. That's a got to be a special plant.
Yes, it is. It's a prickly pear cactus. And like one of the little, what do you call that? Like the little ones that pop off. It,
Yeah, the pups.
the what? Pups? Oh yeah.
Pups.
It fell off onto the soil on top, and I was like growing other ones off the top of that.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. So that's how I got into plants. She just kept gifting me cuttings, and like I would just work with them and see what, like I had more time. I was also at home, working from home.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then I discovered the Plantstagram community on Instagram. There's a whole bunch of us out there.
a whole bunch of crazy plant people.
And
Yeah.
so much to learn from everybody on the gram. I
Yes.
like aeroids.
Yeah.
Hoyas don't really tend to like me. They don't really do much for me. Maybe I'm not treating them right. My favorite plant is the one that's gonna love me back.
Right.
Where it just so happens that I have the great environment for them, and happen to have a good soil mix for them that ends up working out well. I really like to try and take care of my plants, but I'm not going like 2000%. I don't have the capacity to do that. So, I'll make my own soil mix and try to get it right. And if it doesn't get right, then I'll gift it to someone else so they can take care of it. Or it just might not flourish as much with me, but it'll still be happy.
Yeah. Well, talking about soil mix, what about to dirt or to not to dirt? Do you put dirt in your soil mix, or do you use just like stuff like cocoa bark and cocoa core?
I use soil. I use typically Marital Grow, and then their potting mix with orchard bark. And what else do I use? Perlite.
Yeah, mix
Just
that
my
into
typical mix.
yeah, make it like a chunky mix.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
What do you use? What's your aeroid mix?
I use Miracle Grow as well when I do use soil, but lately I just because I've had such a hard time keeping the Monstera's soil balance with like being moist enough and being dry enough that I just kind of went to just Cocoa Core for now to see,
Okay.
But I like all the begonias and the things that are a little bit hardier that need that moisture, I have in Miracle-Gro with the perlite and the orchid bark too. The other day, I about crapped my pants. I grabbed a plant. I was like looking at a plant and I was just admiring it. And all of a sudden, this huge toad jumped right here, like
No,
half on my beard. And I was like, ah! My husband was like, what's going on? I'm like,
a
oh my God.
toad. I do a bird feeder this summer, but I'm worried I'm gonna attract rats. Like,
Oh my God. Yeah. Or pigeons, right?
yeah. Oh, but also
Do
going
they
back
fly
to the,
that high?
huh?
Do pigeons fly that high?
I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
know if
sure
I've
they
seen them
do.
ever up
Yeah.
here. I saw like a red-breasted robin out front
Oh,
yesterday.
really?
And I see those little brown birds, what are they called, that are like really common. I call them the Chipotle birds because when you go to Chipotle, you always see them.
That's hilarious.
But going back to the
That's such
fungus
a
gnats,
city thing.
yeah, back to the fungus gnats. I heard of people putting soil in the oven and baking it before using it.
Really?
I wanted to make a reel about that.
Yeah, that's intense. I don't know. Super intense. So, how did you get into like the decor aspect and like the buy nothing?
The buy nothing has been around for a while. Each neighborhood, I think, like even where you are. Did you join yours, or have you?
Well, I did, and it's funny that you say that because last night we were at dinner with our friends, and he was like, "Oh, I got this," and he's kind of bougie, and he was like, "Oh, I got this beautiful patio furniture set off Buy Nothing," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I've heard of that," like
Yeah.
obviously because of you.
Your first plant swap.
It's my first plant swap because of it. Bought my first like thing off the Facebook Marketplace.
Ah, the home decor piece, how I got into that,
Oh yeah,
I love my home. It's so hard for me to leave. Everyone's like, I just want to go on vacation. I'm like, I feel like I'm on vacation when I'm home. That's how I made it feel. And I also
yeah,
not really got that type of budget, but so in New York City they have affordable housing. And so like this was so like lottery to get the apartments. And so we kind of won the lottery with this apartment. Um, you pay based on your income. There's like different types of brackets or whatever. So I
yeah.
got so this is like the New York City dream apartment. You know that. You lived here
Yeah,
for
yeah.
10
I have a
years.
couple friends. Yeah, I have a couple of friends in Brooklyn that are in uh, a lottery apartment too. That
Yeah.
it's fun and yeah, it's awesome. And that's good. It's the way that housing should be.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, it's still like an insane amount of money, but I mean,
Yeah,
I
I
couldn't
know.
dream
I lived in
more.
New York. Yeah,
But by winning like a lottery apartment, I was like, I have to make this home like it for me. Like I want it to be my sanctuary. I want it to feel safe, cozy, all the things that make me feel safe and cozy. I wanted to put into the apartment. So for me, that's like a warm palette, obviously plants. I got into plants right before we moved into this apartment. So it wasn't actually that bad moving those plants over. I don't think I had enough. I don't think I had a lot
yeah.
back then when we moved, so it wasn't like a whole to do. Um, but yeah,
How many plants do you think you have now?
at one point I had over 100. And we have 990 square feet, which I think is a little less than that because I think they fit on those floor plans. But now I have around like 80.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
cool. And like, what's the watering routine? Do you
I have
plant
like a
starts?
as needed when I like walk around the apartment because it's so small in here, so you just like see the ones that need your help or like screaming at
Right.
you when you walk by.
Yeah.
But typically the weekend, mostly Sundays, I'll have like a check-in day. Like most of them probably need watered by Sunday. But if any of them are struggling during the week, I'll help them out if I have time. I'm looking around right now to see if there's any plants that are screaming at me.
Uh, what do you do as far as like getting the creative ideas for creating your content? I've seen like a vast variety of different reels that you do, which is awesome, from DIYs to comedy reels as well. What is your like process before figuring
Um,
out what you're gonna do?
I'm one of those creators that I don't really like do what you're supposed to do. I just let it be like what's coming from me, what I'm feeling at the moment. Like I don't have a posting schedule. I'm not like I'm posting at this time on this day. I did that for what like for a little bit. It didn't really feel authentic to me. Um,
Right.
I've also always loved DIYs because growing up we didn't have a lot of money, so I always had to just make it myself. Or with like the Buy Nothing group, it was like I can only afford like what it like the least amount. Like there was no whatever the price ranges were. It's like I'm getting the cheapest one like by default. So with the DIYs, I love that I can be creative. Um, what's my last DIY that I did that I posted on there?
You did the one with the really pretty pot that you used to put the plant in, I think. Is that the
Oh
last
yeah,
one?
I don't have it right next to me. It's over there. Oh yeah. Um,
But that's like a brand name pot, right?
yeah. I don't know how to
Yeah,
say it.
yeah.
It's so bougie. It's
Yeah, yeah.
Lacrosse. Yeah, I don't know how to say it honestly.
Yeah. I don't either,
So the
obviously.
the lid was like jammed in there, and I'm thinking that's maybe why they threw it out. But it also did have a small chip like on the outside, like cosmetic, like it didn't affect whatever you put inside. But in the process of me getting the lid out, I cracked like a little crack on the inside. And you think that would not crack on the inside for how expensive that stuff is.
Yeah.
So I put my very first African violet in there as my plant, made it into a plant holder, and I put my African violet in there. Have you had one? I just got it, and it's like so
Um,
pretty. I love it.
yeah.
Again.
I have one back here somewhere. It's not doing that great.
Those are asked. Do you have any tips?
No, because mine's not doing that great.
So I asked on
No.
my Instagram stories about tips for it, and someone said it likes to have moist soil, but not too moist, but not too dry. And I'm like, oh gosh,
Yeah.
here we go with this plant. But I didn't even check the soil when I bought it. I bought it during this week when we went into the city. I don't know if you saw that in my stories. We were like just walking down the street. That's what I love about New York City. You can just have like plants on the corner.
I know, I love that.
I was
It's
like, oh,
amazing.
my plant radar went off. I have to go check it. So I didn't check the soil at
Was it
all.
flowering? It
Yeah.
was
You
flowering,
gonna
right?
grab it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab it.
Yeah, grab it. I love it. I thought it looked so pretty in that pot.
Bring it back. Oh, yeah, I love
Oh
the
yeah, it's really
the
pretty.
pink with the orange. Yeah, so it's like chipped here, so I just like face it that
Yeah,
way.
yeah. I mean, you can even paint that if it was so annoying to you.
Huh?
I said you could even paint that if it
Oh
was so
yeah,
annoying to you, you
breaking
know?
it. It's got this bloom is new. Here, this one down there, and then this one's about to bloom. So it seems
Wow.
like it's kind of happy so far.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really pretty.
Oh yes, I should probably explain what I do now. So I live in a high-rise building. There's 38 floors, and each floor has a trash room. So I started on the first floor. There's a big trash room on the first floor that everyone takes. They're supposed to take their big trash down to, but people are lazy and don't do that. And also the what are they called? The porters take all the trash collected from all the floors and puts the bigger trash into this like bin. So I start there and I look through that big bin. That's usually where I find my stuff. It's also nice because I can just go there first and it kind of does all my work for me. Like someone's already gone through each floor. But when they go through each floor, they have the opportunity to take the stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I start on the first floor. I check that big room. It's called the compactor room. And then I walk the stairs. I get my exercise and go to each trash room on each floor and check what they have. We have the recycling in there. I'll go through the recycling to like look for prop jars, the glasses. Um, you're not gonna believe what I found like 2 weeks ago. I found a brand new in the box massage gun, like unopened. I'm like,
That's
what?
insane.
I gotta share my best finds from there.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you, like, can you think off the top of your head, like, what are three of your top, like, best finds since you've been doing this?
I can try. These aren't gonna be the best, but these are the ones that I remember. I think I found 3 cases of what's that bougie seltzer?
LaCroix?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
unopened, just 3 cases in there. Oh, I found Barney's New York shoes, boots that fit me. Yeah, I wear
That's
those all the time. They were brand new, still had this like they were in pristine condition, had the sticker. The person actually posted in the building page that they were putting them in the trash room, so that one I could like run and go get before someone else did. Um, what else have I found in there? I mean, just like shoes, clothes. I'm like
I
gonna
mean,
look
the
around.
things that you find, you style so expensively. Like, it looks so luxurious.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And then the touches that you add, like, those two donut lights are
Oh yeah, I
so
love those.
aesthetically beautiful.